Revealed, how one life-changing moment with my son over soup transformed our relationship forever. The kitchen was alive with the comforting aromas of chicken noodle soup, steam curling up towards the ceiling as snowflakes danced outside the frosted window. Alex, a proud mechanic and veteran, stirred the pot with a heavy heart. It was supposed to be a cozy evening, a chance to bridge the widening chasm between him and his 12-year-old son, Jamie. Just a few days ago, Jamie had stormed off, his face twisted in frustration over a world Alex knew all too well. He was struggling to keep up with the theme of wealth that ruled the playground. "Why can't you care enough to give me what other dads do?" The cutting words echoed in Alex's mind as he set the table with mismatched plates and forks. Jamie's resentment was palpable. It hurt, like a splinter in Alex's heart, and the weight of it hung heavy. Their tight-knit neighborhood buzzed with laughter and luxury, but in this house, life felt more like a struggle, particularly at the end of the month. Standing there with fervent determination, he hoped that tonight would be different. Tonight, they would talk. "Come on, buddy. Soup's ready." The call seemed to float into the air, hopeful yet laced with tension. Jamie sat down, his hands folding protectively in front of him, a wall against any attempt at conversation. "I can't believe you'd bring me that when my friends have," Jamie began, his voice rising as he gestured angrily to his friends' new phones and consoles. In that moment, something shattered inside Alex. Instead of reacting in anger, he paused. The delicious aroma of soup became a backdrop to a story he had buried deep within his chest. "Let me tell you something, Jamie," he started, as he took a breath, the kind that felt like an exhale of decades. "When I was your age, we didn't have much either. There were nights I went to bed hungry, dreams filled with the aroma of good food but nothing on the table. My dad worked 2 jobs just so we could stay warm in the winter." With trembling hands, he ladled the soup into bowls. Each word was a release. Memories poured out, the sacrifice, the love, the hope that glimmered in the face of adversity. He saw Jamie's body slowly relax, heard the damning emotions begin to ebb. Maybe this was the connection they needed, a reminder of the strength found in vulnerability. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." "Now let's continue." Jamie looked up, eyes shimmering with uncertainty. "But what if there's more to being a dad than just working hard? What if we never get there?" That question lingered, heavy and loaded. It stung. Alex opened his mouth, searching for an answer, a way to soothe the fear in Jamie's eyes. The soup bubbled away, a silent witness to their struggle. The warmth of the meal felt distant compared to the cold reality bridging their hearts. In that moment, both father and son realized they stood at the precipice of change. They were fighting through a rough patch, yes, but could love truly bridge the gap between dreams and reality? Would they find a path forward together? As they gazed at each other, the glow of Christmas lights outside flickering against their shared silence, the snow continued to fall, delicate and unwavering, much like their hope. Alex's heart raced as he watched Jamie, the flickering lights casting shadows on his son's furrowed brow. The weight of Jamie's questions settled around them, thick and unresolved. Alex fought the urge to retreat into frustration. Instead, he leaned in, both physically and emotionally, letting the warmth of his feelings overshadow the cold doubt that loomed. "Son, I know it's hard to see," he finally replied, his voice softer now, more vulnerable. "Sometimes life puts us in places we don't want to be. But it's not about having everything, it's about what we do with what we do have." Jamie's chin dipped, thoughts swirling like the snow outside. Alex took a moment to appreciate the sight of his son, young yet shaped by the weight of expectations. A quiet resolve welled up within him. He couldn't let his boy navigate these feelings alone. "Let me show you," he said suddenly, the idea thunderous in its clarity. "Why don't we build something together? Something you'd love?" Confusion flickered in Jamie's eyes. Like what? Remember the car we talked about? The one you wanted to restore? We could use the garage for a project. Just you and me. A glimmer of excitement danced momentarily before hesitation crept back in. But what if it turns out bad? What if we fail? Jamie's voice trembled as he laid bare the fear that had been gnawing at him. Alex leaned forward, resting his elbows on the table, creating a bridge rather than a divide between them. Buddy, everything in life carries the risk of failure. But if we never try, we'll never know what we can achieve together. And if it doesn't go as planned? We'll learn. I promise, I'll be right there with you. The corners of Jamie's mouth lifted just the slightest, a flicker of hope. Together? Absolutely, Alex said, feeling the first real connection bloom between them, a thread of understanding that was slowly but surely weaving their hearts closer. Jamie looked down again, meditating on the thought. And what if people laugh at us? Alex chuckled, warmth filling the room. Who cares? Half of them probably can't even change a tire. Plus, they're just kids. Their laughter fades. But the time we spend together? That's what lasts. The sincerity hung in the air, rich and potent. Jamie shrugged, still uncertain, but Alex saw a tiny fire ignite in his son's chest. All right, maybe we can try. The tension in the room seemed to lift, making way for laughter that echoed against the kitchen walls, a promise redolent with the scent of soup and unspoken dreams. As they dug into their bowls, slurping and dishing out gentle banter, something shifted. Not all was resolved, but they stood on the edge of something beautiful, a tentative understanding. Let us do it this weekend, Jamie proposed, his excitement gaining traction like the snow piling up outside. Deal, Alex agreed, his heart swelling with pride. And we'll document it. Show everyone that what matters is the journey, not just the end result. The thought hung between them, potent with possibility. But just as the relief washed over Alex, Jamie asked, how do we even start? What if we don't know what to do next? The question landed, and for a moment, doubt clouded Alex's vision. But in that uncertainty, he sensed a greater challenge, one that had little to do with cars and choices but rather the deeper truths of fatherhood and connection. With a smile, he responded, then we figure it out together. Just like everything else. The night wound on, laughter fading into soft whispers of comfort, but a new uncertainty lingered in the air. What would happen when they began their project together? Would it uncover unknown fears, or would it draw them closer than ever before? Only time would tell. The morning sun crept through the kitchen window, illuminating the remnants of last night's dinner. Alex stood by the sink, chasing the last scraps of soup from the pot into a bowl. His thoughts swirled with the excitement of the new project, but beneath that, a knot of anxiety tightened in his stomach. The garage, their sacred space of memories and mishaps, would soon turn into a workshop of hopes and fears. Dad, are you ready? Jamie's voice broke through his reverie, excitement spilling over as he bounded into the kitchen, a glint of determination in his eyes that Alex hadn't seen in a while. Ready as I'll ever be. Alex replied, masking his own nerves with a smile. He wanted this. Not just the car project but the chance to bond, to be there for Jamie in a way that felt tangible and real. As they stepped into the garage, the scent of oil and gasoline filled the air, familiar yet tinged with anticipation. Jamie moved to the cluttered workbench, his fingers dancing over the tools as if they were long-lost friends. Which tool do we need first? He asked, looking up at Alex. Alex scratched his head, pretending to think deeply. Well, how about we start with a plan? Jamie's brows furrowed as he regarded the pile of car parts and tools. A plan? But aren't we supposed to just dive in? Alex chuckled lightly. Diving in can be messy. Let's figure out what we want first, then we can see how we can get there. They spread out the plans they'd drawn up years ago, dusty but still brimming with potential. As Jamie traced the outlines of the car on the paper, his voice softened. What if I mess it all up? Alex's heart twisted at his son's vulnerability. You know, Jamie, it's okay to mess up. I messed up a lot when I was learning. Sometimes those moments turned into the best lessons. But what if it's not good enough? Jamie pressed, the weight of his expectations pushing against him like a storm. Good enough? Alex echoed, setting down a wrench. What is good enough? Is it a perfect car? Or is it time spent together, making memories? Jamie's eyes narrowed, clearly considering Alex's words. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation, and Alex felt a rush. Maybe the car project was merely a catalyst for something bigger, something they both needed. Let us start with removing those old parts, Alex suggested, choosing action over words. He moved closer to the car, and Jamie followed. The minutes turned into hours as they dismantled pieces, Jamie's nervous energy shifting into focused determination. With every bolt unscrewed and every step taken, the air between them lightened, revealing flickers of laughter and shared stories. The weight of Jamie's worries began to lift with each shared triumph, the echo of banter filling the garage. See? There you go. You've got this, buddy. Alex cheered as Jamie successfully detached a stubborn bracket. A grin broke across Jamie's face, bright and luminous. I did it. His exhilaration filled the space like sunshine breaking through a cloudy day. Absolutely. And look at us, a couple of mechanics. Alex felt that familiar connection deepen, this time bathed in the light of progress and partnership. But as they continued plugging away, doubt still loomed quietly in the background. Jamie caught sight of a rough edge on the car, remnants of a past that once threatened to derail them. What if it isn't perfect? What if son, it won't be perfect? Alex interjected gently. But every scrape tells a story. Just like us. It's the imperfections that make it unique. The words settled between them, a balm for both their hearts. As they leaned against the workbench, surrounded by tools that would touch the car, a silence hung in the air, charged with newfound understanding. Can we get it working by the end of summer? Jamie asked, looking hopeful yet tentative. Why don't we just focus on today? Alex suggested, his gaze locked with Jamie's. The moment lingered, pregnant with promise, and uncertainty still crept in like shadows in the corners of the garage. What would they uncover together beyond the rust and grease? The challenge of the build was merely a gateway. What happens next? Jamie broke the silence, his face a mix of hope and fear. We keep building, son, Alex replied, a grin on his face. Not just the car, our understanding, our trust, everything. As the day wrapped them in its golden glow, little did they know how that very first day in the garage would set off a chain of events, both beautiful and challenging. The journey had only just begun, and with it came questions that would soon press against their hearts. Would they be able to face what was truly at stake? Would they emerge stronger, united in their resolve? Only time could tell. The next morning dawned with a crispness that hinted at the changing seasons. Alex felt a different energy in the air as he brewed coffee, the aroma intertwining with the first light of day. He thought of the car project waiting for them, its parts scattered but full of potential. The excitement he had felt yesterday sparked anew, flickering like the morning sun dancing on the kitchen counter. Jamie entered, his eyes still heavy with sleep but brightening at the sight of his dad. Are we back at it today? He asked, a hint of eagerness in his tone. Absolutely. We've got a car to build. Alex replied, his enthusiasm contagious. The shadows of worry that had plagued him just days ago felt like distant memories. They were on the cusp of something meaningful. Once in the garage, they both stared at the hulking mass of the car. Pieces lay scattered, a puzzle that needed solving, a challenge that called to them. What's next? Jamie asked, grabbing a wrench and twisting it playfully in his hands. Alex pointed to the engine block. First, we need to clean it up. Get rid of the grime and see what we're working with. Jamie nodded, determination dancing in his eyes. They spent the next hour scrubbing and wiping, engaging in a rhythm that felt almost musical. Laughter punctuated their hard work as they tossed grease-stained rags back and forth, each throw accompanied by exaggerated grunts and giggles. Remember my old bike? Jamie began, focusing intently on a particularly stubborn spot. You said the same thing. Get it clean and we'll see the real shape of it. Exactly. Sometimes you have to strip away all the junk before you can see the beauty under it, Alex responded, wiping a bit of sweat from his brow. As they continued, Jamie paused and looked up at his father. You think we can really do this? I mean, finish the car? Alex took a moment, pulling back the chuckles for a more serious tone. Honestly? I believe we can as long as we keep working together. The only limit we have is the one we put on ourselves. Jamie absorbed this, his expression shifting. So, if we mess up, that's okay? Messing up is part of it. If it were all easy, it wouldn't be worth doing. Remember the lessons we learned from our mistakes? Alex's voice softened, filling the words with trust. Jamie's gaze drifted back to the engine. Yeah, but what if it becomes a bigger mess than we can handle? Then we handle it, Alex said firmly, stepping closer. Together. Just like we are now. No matter what comes, we're a team. That assurance lingered, wrapping around Jamie like a warm blanket. He smiled, emboldened by his father's words. Finally ready to dive deeper, he went back to scrubbing with renewed vigor. Time blurred around them. They worked in silence, an unspoken bond tightening between father and son with each piece they cleaned. Then, the garage door creaked open, and they turned to see Mrs. Collins, their neighbor, standing there, a puzzled smile on her face. Boys. What's all this? She called out, looking over the scene. Just fixing up a car, Mrs. Collins. Jamie shouted back, his pride evident. Looks like you both are having fun and making quite the mess. She laughed, shaking her head but clearly impressed. Alex exchanged a knowing glance with Jamie. Fun. It was more than just a project, it was rediscovery, creation, and shared laughter. As the sun hung high in the sky, it struck Alex that moments like this were what mattered. Each scraped hand and laugh shared in the garage echoed deeper lessons of love and perseverance. But just as they were about to dive back into their work, a loud thud echoed from the back of the garage. They both turned, startled. What had they missed? What was that? Jamie asked, eyes wide. Only one way to find out, Alex replied, his heart racing with a mix of fear and curiosity. Together, they cautiously made their way toward the sound, unsure of what lay ahead. A hidden aspect of their project? Or something more unexpected in their sanctuary of memories? Unbeknownst to them, the journey was just evolving, and they were about to unravel threads of the past that neither of them anticipated. The air in the garage felt charged as Alex and Jamie crept toward the source of the sound. With each step, Jamie's grip on the wrench tightened, and Alex could see the mixture of excitement and fear in his son's eyes. What if it's a stray cat? Jamie whispered, referring to the neighborhood's cats that sometimes wandered in. Or worse, like a raccoon. Let us hope for a cat, Alex replied, trying to ease the tension. They both rounded a corner, and there it was, a large, canvas tarp lying crumpled near the back wall. The thud seemed to have come from beneath it. Maybe it's something we can use for the car. Jamie suggested, his curiosity overcoming the initial scare. They knelt down by the tarp, and Alex lifted a corner, revealing what lay underneath. A dusty old toolbox sat quietly, its metal sides dulled with neglect. The sight sent a wave of nostalgia washing over Alex, reminiscent of his own childhood spent alongside his father. He reached for the toolbox, and it felt heavy with memories and anticipation alike. Open it. Jamie urged, his voice barely containing his thrill. Taking a deep breath, Alex flipped open the rusty latch, and the lid creaked upward. Inside were a collection of old tools, each resting in its own place as if waiting to be called back into action. They were worn but sturdy screwdrivers, pliers, and even a few things he didn't recognize. Wow, Jamie breathed, his eyes wide. These look ancient. Alex chuckled softly. They've seen better days, that's for sure. But that just means there's so much history here. He picked up a small wrench. Its surface had lost most of its shine, but he could see it was still functional. What do you think they can do? Jamie asked, leaning closer to inspect the tools. We can clean them up and use them. Just like we did with the engine. Alex smiled, an idea sparking in his mind. This discovery was more than just old tools, it was an invitation to connect with his past while building something with Jamie. Together, they laid out the contents of the toolbox on a workbench, each piece sparking stories that Alex would share. This here was my dad's favorite screwdriver. I remember helping him fix the lawnmower. As he spoke, Jamie listened intently, eyes glimmering with interest. What was once a project about a car was evolving into a journey through stories and memories connecting generations through the simplest of tools. Suddenly, Jamie spotted something tucked away in the corner, a faded photograph. "Dad, look." He pulled it out carefully, revealing an image of a young Alex standing next to an old car, big smiles plastered on their faces. The background was a bustling garage filled with activity and laughter. "Wow. I had forgotten about that day," Alex murmured, his heart tightening. "This was the car we worked on after I graduated high school. We spent countless weekends on it. Can we do that? Can we make it a tradition?" Jamie's voice wavered with a mix of hope and innocence. "That would be incredible," Alex replied, his eyes glistening with emotion. "To keep passing on what we learn, just like my dad passed it to me." They stood side by side, the photograph between them, and for a moment, they weren't just father and son, they were part of a lineage of love, labor, and shared dreams. But just as the moment settled, a wave of uncertainty washed over Jamie. "But what if we don't get this car finished? What then?" Alex rested a hand on Jamie's shoulder. "It's not about finishing it, buddy. It's the journey we take together. That's what matters." As they exchanged smiles, the lingering pulse of excitement filled the garage, intertwining with the scent of oil and fresh start. But as Alex set the photograph down, he couldn't shake a feeling of something more at play, an emotional thread that linked them not just to the past but to an unknown future. They both looked toward the hollow corner of the garage, the previously darkened space now illuminated by the soft afternoon light pouring through the windows. "Do you think there might be even more surprises waiting for us back here?" Jamie asked, eyes shining with curiosity. Alex chuckled softly but felt a thrill surge through him. "There just might be. Let's keep digging." With renewed vigor, they began to sift through more boxes and items stacked in the corner, unaware of what lay ahead, but hopeful for the next revelation. What would they find, and how would it change them again? The cluttered corner of the garage felt alive as Alex and Jamie delved deeper into the mystery of dusty memories. Cardboard boxes, some teetering, others wedged in tight, held a promise of past adventures. The air was thick with the musty smell of time, and with every box they opened, the excitement grew. "Look at this!" Jamie exclaimed, pulling out a set of old license plates, each one rusted and faded. The letters told stories, memories of road trips and laughter shared on the open road. "What if we could hang these somewhere, like a trophy for finishing the car?" Alex smiled, envisioning the plates adorning a wall as a testament to their journey. "That's a great idea. They'd represent all the places we've been and how far we've come." As they sorted through more forgotten treasures, a broken radio, a pile of old manuals, and even a half-empty can of faded paint, they stumbled upon a small, wooden box, unassuming but intriguingly solid. It sat low on the floor, concealed by a dusty tarp. "What do you think is in there?" Jamie nudged it with his foot, an eager grin on his face. "Only one way to find out," Alex grinned back, his heart racing with a familiar rush of exhilaration. They scooted forward and carefully lifted the lid. Inside was a neatly folded bundle of letters, tied together with a frayed piece of twine. Jamie's brows knitted together with curiosity. "What are those?" Alex picked up the letters, the ink faded but still legible. "These look like love letters?" His voice softened, a touch of surprise mingling with amusement. "Yeah, they definitely are. My parents. They must be written these to each other back in the day." Jamie leaned closer, intrigued. "Can we read one?" "Sure," Alex said, his fingers brushing over the paper. The first letter was addressed from his mother to his father. He scanned it quickly, his heart warming as he read a passage aloud. "In every moment we share, I find a piece of who I am." Alex paused, the words washing over him, igniting long-buried emotions. Jamie watched intently, his youthful eyes widening at the raw intimacy of the message. "This is amazing," Jamie whispered, the weight of the words sinking in. "Your parents really loved each other, didn't they?" "They did," Alex replied, feeling the warmth of nostalgia and longing. "It's nice to know that love was always a part of our family, even when things got tough." The mood shifted as they both considered the implications of love and legacy. Jamie, who had often worried about the future, looked up at Alex, a newfound understanding dawning. "Do you think we can create something like that? Something that lasts?" Alex's heart swelled as he thought about the connection they were forging right now. "Absolutely. Our own letters, our own memories. It's about sharing the journey, just like these letters." As they finished examining the letters, a few drops of rain began to patter against the garage roof, a subtle reminder of the outside world. But inside, a different world emerged filled with warmth, connection, and the promise of shared experiences. "Dad, this feels like we're opening a treasure chest of family history," Jamie said, his voice filled with awe. "That's exactly what it is," Alex replied, looking around the garage, now brightened by their newfound discoveries. Each item they uncovered felt like a part of the puzzle, intertwining his past with Jamie's future. As they sat surrounded by pieces of their family's history, a sudden thought struck Alex. What if we found even more letters or something else that could teach us about our family? Jamie's eyes sparkled with excitement again. What else could be hiding back here? With a shared grin and a newfound sense of adventure, they turned their attention back to the remaining boxes in the corner. But as the rain fell harder outside, an unexpected sound crept into the garage, a low rumble, echoing in the stillness. Both Alex and Jamie exchanged glances, curiosity piqued. What could it be? "Let's check it out," Jamie urged, his spirit lifting at the prospect of discovery. And together, they stood ready to uncover whatever mystery awaited them next, the bond of their journey growing stronger with each shared moment. Alex took a deep breath, his heart racing with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. The rumble continued, a throaty growl that seemed to vibrate through the very floorboards. It felt alive, almost as if the garage were speaking to them. "What do you think it is?" Jamie whispered, eyes wide with wonder. "Could be thunder," Alex replied, glancing at the weathered windows, now fogging up with moisture. But another part of him felt drawn to investigate. "Or something else, let's find out." They stepped cautiously toward the source of the noise. With each step, the air felt thicker, charged with possibility. Alex could feel Jamie's excitement radiating next to him, a flicker of eagerness that kept him moving forward. When they reached the back of the garage, the sound transformed into a clatter. Jamie knelt beside a large box, nearly toppling over in his eagerness to inspect it. "It's coming from here," he declared, kneeling to dig through the debris. Alex joined him, pulling the box free from a pile of discarded tires and gardening tools. The lid was slightly ajar, and as they pried it open, they were greeted by a jumbled assortment of odds and ends, a collection that appeared as chaotic as the rain outside. "What do you think we'll find?" Jamie asked, rummaging through the box, pulling out items as if they were treasures buried long ago. "I have no idea," Alex laughed, reaching in as well. "But let's just see what this tells us." As they pulled out an old soccer ball, a pair of dusty roller skates, and even a baseball glove that smelled of summer days, they felt the weight of memories linger in the air. Each object was a piece of someone else's history, a glimpse into time that hadn't been their own. Then, just as Jamie was about to toss an old lunchbox aside, he paused. "Dad! Look at this!" he exclaimed, holding it aloft as if he'd discovered gold. The lunchbox was dented and covered in stickers from places that didn't exist anymore. It seemed ordinary at first, but as Alex examined it, a wave of recognition hit him. "I used to have one just like this when I was your age." "Really? What did you pack in it?" Jamie's eyes gleamed with anticipation. "Sandwiches, of course," Alex chuckled. "And sometimes, a note from your grandma. It was her secret way of adding a little love to my lunch." Suddenly, while Alex's mind drifted back to childhood, Jamie flipped the latch and popped the lunchbox open. Inside lay a jumble of papers neatly folded, with delicate handwriting spilling across the surface. "There are letters here too," he shouted, the thrill of the discovery lighting up his face. "What?" Alex leaned closer, hardly believing their luck. Jamie pulled them out carefully, revealing the same type of twine that bound his parents' letters. "They're tied together, just like the love letters." As Jamie unfolded one, Alex felt a rush of energy pass between them. Perhaps these weren't just childhood notes, maybe they held the same weight as the love letters, packed with hopes, dreams, and secrets of a bygone era. "This is incredible," Jamie exclaimed, excitement bubbling over. "It's like the past is reaching out to us." As they shared the thrilling moment, a sense of unity enveloped them. With every letter carefully opened, a deeper understanding of their family began to take shape. They moved through the emotions of laughter and nostalgia, filling the garage with light, but just as they uncovered a heartfelt note describing dreams of adventure, the rumble returned, echoing more forcefully this time. Both Alex and Jamie froze, exchanging wide-eyed glances. "What is that?" Jamie asked, gripping the letter tightly, his voice wavering between excitement and fear. "I don't know, but we need to find out," Alex replied, sensing that whatever it was held significance beyond their imagination. They stood on the threshold of discovery, their hearts drumming in a synchrony of anticipation. In that moment, they both knew they were about to uncover not just family memories, but something that could change their lives forever. What lay beyond that echoing sound stirred curiosity and dread. In equal measure. They couldn't turn back now, the adventure was just beginning. The intense rumbling swept through the garage again, shaking the walls just as Alex's heart began to beat faster. The box, now filled with letters and memories, felt like a bridge to something more profound. As the vibrations settled, he focused on Jamie. The curiosity in his son's eyes reflected a blend of eagerness and fear just like his own. "Let's take a closer look," Alex said, his voice steadying despite the adrenaline coursing through him. With a deliberate calmness, he moved toward the far corner of the garage, where the noise seemed to pulse. It felt almost as if it was beckoning them closer, whispering secrets of the past. Jamie followed, practically glued to his side, clutching the letters as if they were treasures of utmost importance. As they approached a darkened area, Alex squinted, trying to get a better sense of what lay ahead. Boxes were stacked in a chaotic pyramid, shadows weaving between them. After a deep breath, he reached out, feeling the rough edges of a large crate. Whatever was inside had remained hidden for too long. "Here goes nothing," he murmured, lifting the lid slowly. It creaked ominously, amplifying the electric silence that surrounded them. When the crate finally opened, the sound of the thunderous rumble faded into the background, replaced with a crystalline silence. Inside the crate, illuminated by a slant of light slipping through the garage door, were items shrouded in dust, bicycles, a faded beach ball, and an old wooden chest bound with rusted metal. "What do you think is in there?" Jamie asked, his voice a whisper now, filled with awe. "I don't know, but we're about to find out," Alex replied, more confidently than he felt. He motioned for Jamie to help him lift the chest. Together, they hoisted it out and set it in the middle of the garage floor. With hands trembling in excitement, Alex took a deep breath and lifted the lid. It creaked open, revealing an array of photographs, a stack of books with broken spines, and a worn journal. The faint smell of old paper wafted up, bringing with it the warmth of nostalgia. "Look at this!" Jamie exclaimed, pulling out a tangled bundle of photographs. They were black and white, depicting moments frozen in time: a family picnic, a birthday party. Laughter seemed to resonate from each image, wrapping them in warmth. Alex picked up the journal that had clearly seen better days. The leather cover was cracked and faded. He opened it gingerly, revealing neat handwriting that sloped into artistic loops, someone's story penned down with love. "What does it say?" Jamie leaned closer, eyes glistening with curiosity. "Let us find out," Alex replied, his voice thick with emotion. As he flipped through pages filled with everyday moments, a story unfolded: a family filled with dreams and struggles, much like their own. Suddenly, the ground rumbled again, and it jolted them both. Alex grasped Jamie's shoulders, feeling both a thrill and a sense of urgency. "We need to stay focused. Let us see what else is here." Just as Jamie pulled out a long-forgotten stuffed animal, a flash of color drew Alex's eye. He turned to find a glimmering object in the corner of the crate. Tentatively, he reached toward it, fingers brushing against an old wooden box, more ornate than anything else they had found. "Dad, are you okay?" Jamie's concern was palpable. "I'm fine," Alex said, though both of them felt the weight of the moment pressing down. After a quick glance shared between them, he lifted the decorative box out of the crate, drawing in a breath as he prepared to open it. Whatever lay inside felt heavy with promise. As he flicked open the latch, the atmosphere shifted, brimming with unanswered questions and the energy of the past. What lay hidden within those delicate confines could very well change everything they thought they knew. "Are you ready?" Alex asked Jamie, who nodded with wide eyes, anticipation mingling with trepidation. The moment was electric. Would they find answers, or uncover secrets better left buried? As Alex lifted the lid, a burst of light glinted off the surface of what was inside, illuminating their faces with wonder and a dash of fear. What awaited them inside that old box could very well be the key to their family's legacy, or something that could unravel it completely. As the lid of the ornate box lifted, an aura of mystery enveloped Alex and Jamie. The burst of light that spilled forth illuminated not just the contents within but also the uncharted territory of their own emotions. The first thing Alex noticed was a collection of delicate rings, each one glinting under the sparse garage light, hinting at stories etched in time. But it was the small bundle of letters beneath them, tied with a faded blue ribbon, that captured his heart. "What are those?" Jamie asked, leaning closer, nearly pressing his small face against the edge of the box. His eagerness was palpable, a spark that mirrored Alex's own curiosity. "I'm not sure yet," Alex replied, feeling a familiar weight of nostalgia hit him. He gingerly lifted the letters, almost as if they might crumble under the pressure of the moment. The ink was faint but still legible, words that echoed with memories of long-forgotten love and bonds. "Read one," Jamie urged, his excitement infectious. "Okay," Alex said, already flipping to the first letter. The neat cursive scribbled on the yellowed paper told a story of longing and hope. "Dear Martha, today marks 1 year since we moved to Cedar Valley. I see the mountains every day, and I can't help but think of you." He paused, the words wrapping around him like a warm embrace. "Who's Martha?" Jamie asked, his voice a blend of intrigue and innocence. "She might have been part of our family, a friend maybe, or someone close," Alex responded, eyes lingering on the letter. Each word seemed to score a deeper connection, stirring emotions he hadn't felt in ages. The rumbling outside returned, subtly, reminding them of the world beyond their discovery. But right there, with the letters in his hands and Jamie by his side, nothing else mattered. "Can we read more?" Jamie asked, his voice almost pleading. "Definitely." Alex smoothed another letter open, this one addressed to someone named Edward, talking about overcoming struggles and finding strength in community. It was remarkable the way words could bridge gaps over decades. As they continued reading, they uncovered tales of laughter, sadness, and resilience that reflected their own lives in a strange way. Each letter opened a window into a life that seemed intricately woven with their own, as if their ancestors were whispering lessons from the past. Yet the further they delved, the more questions began to bubble up. Who were these people, really? And what had happened to them? "Dad," Jamie's voice broke through Alex's trance, sudden and insistent. "What if there are answers to questions we didn't even know we had?" Alex looked at his son, realizing the gravity of their find. "You're right. Maybe we have a part of our history here. It's important we understand where we come from." But just as the thrill of discovery settled into solemn awareness, Alex noticed a small key nestled beneath one of the rings. It felt heavy in his palm, almost pulsing with purpose. "I think this might open something," he said, curiosity piquing both their interest. "What could it unlock?" Jamie asked, wide-eyed as he studied the key. "I don't know, but it feels like it's meant to fit somewhere important," Alex responded, glancing around the garage, where shadows danced like specters across forgotten memories. As they began to search, an unsettling thought loomed over them. Was there something hidden that shouldn't be found? Something deeply entwined with the letters and rings? Would unlocking it unveil family secrets or reshape their understanding of themselves? Jamie's excitement was a palpable force, though Alex felt a flicker of hesitation. "Let us follow this thread," he said finally, heart racing with both dread and exhilaration. Each moment felt charged, slipping from merely discoveries to revelations waiting to surface. With a renewed sense of purpose, they prepared to dive deeper, the flutter of possibilities stretching before them. What would that key unlock, and what would it reveal about their family legacy? The answers loomed just out of reach, waiting for them to uncover the truth. With the small key nestled securely in his palm, Alex felt the adrenaline rush through him again. This was it, the moment of truth would soon unravel. Jamie was practically bouncing on his toes, his eyes gleaming with curiosity and hope. "What do you think it unlocks?" he asked, barely able to contain his excitement. "I'm not sure," Alex mused. "Maybe a chest like this one, or even an old trunk hidden somewhere in this very garage. Whatever it is, I have a feeling it's something important." Each word felt electrifying as they searched the dim corners of the garage together, scanning for anything that resembled a lock. As they moved through the chaotic remnants of Alex's past, memories tugged at his heart. They came upon an old, grainy filing cabinet, its metal frame chipped from age. "What about this?" Jamie suggested, pointing at it. "Could be worth a shot," Alex replied, pacing toward it. He tested the drawers, which groaned and resisted as though they hadn't been opened in years. Finally, one of them creaked and slid open, revealing a jumble of dusty paperwork. He rifled through them, hoping for clues. One sheet caught his eye, an old handwritten note that bore the same elegant script as the letters they'd read earlier. "Look at this, Jamie," he called over his shoulder. "I think it's about family. There's a few names mentioned here." Caught up in his discovery, he barely noticed Jamie's heart racing beside him. Together, they browsed through each piece, piecing together a living map of their ancestors, a family tree etched in ink and sentiment. But just then, the sound of thunder boomed outside, shaking the garage and sending a wave of tension through them. "Nothing can stop us now," Alex whispered, determined. With renewed focus, they crafted a plan, and the rusted old safe off to the side came into view. "Dad, what about that?" Jamie pointed, his eyes widening. Nestled among the tools, the safe had been hidden in plain sight. Its metal exterior gleamed beneath the layers of dust as if waiting for someone to give it life once more. What if that's it? Alex felt a spark of hope ignite. The key must fit this. Moving over to it, they both knelt side by side. The safe was formidable, but with newfound courage, Alex inserted the key and turned it. It clicked with a satisfying sound, and as the door creaked open, a flurry of courage filled the moment. Inside lay folded papers and a small velvet pouch. Heart pounding, Alex pulled out the pouch, aware that their lives might forever be altered. "Do you think it's another secret? Something really important?" Jamie asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Only one way to find out," Alex replied, carefully untying the pouch. It opened to reveal beautiful, intricate jewelry, a family heirloom, sparkling under the faint light, a pendant, old coins, and rings inscribed with initials that told stories yet untold. "Oh wow!" Jamie exclaimed, his eyes going wide. "These must have belonged to your grandparents. This is insane." "Yeah, it feels like we've uncovered a puzzle piece we didn't even know was missing." Alex cradled the pendant in his hand, allowing himself a moment of reverie. He could feel the warmth of the past, the sacrifices, and the love woven through it. "Can we wear some of it?" "I mean, you should wear that," Jamie insisted, pointing to the pendant, almost bouncing in place from excitement. "Then it's like they're with us, right?" With a smile, Alex hung the pendant around his neck. "Absolutely. This is a reminder of where we come from and who we are." As they tucked the rest of the treasures back into the pouch, a surge of connection pulsed between them. It wasn't just the relics of the past holding weight, it was the promise of their shared journey forward, armed with family history and resilience. "We should keep these together, like a family treasure chest," Jamie said, his voice tinged with sincerity. "Something to show our own kids someday." "Definitely," Alex agreed, a wave of pride swelling in his chest. Every generation adding to it. In that moment, with the sounds of rain creating a soothing rhythm. Against the garage roof, the weight of uncertainty lifted. They had woven stories together past and present and forged a bond that went deeper than either of them expected. "Let us finish the car," Jamie suggested suddenly, excitement resurfacing. "We can drive it together someday. We'll make new memories." "Definitely." Alex beamed, filled with renewed purpose and a heart full of hope. They gathered their tools and moved back towards the car, hands steadying each other. Each move felt like a dance of connection now, blending laughter with purpose, dreams with reality. As they dove into the project, the garage echoed with sounds of hope, screws turning, laughter ringing, and ambitious dreams painting a bright future. With every swing of the wrench, they created not just a car but a new beginning, a promise to each other, to feel the power of shared journeys, and to honor the greatness of their heritage. Every scrape, every laughter echoed within those walls, melding stories of old with dreams yet to unfold. It was a symphony of connection, and they knew this was just the start. Now, dear friends, this is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe now to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and keep these inspiring tales alive. Comment your reactions and feelings about this ending. Let us keep the conversation going. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions. Your support means everything.